Peace and love, family. It's your girl, Sixthegoddis. And keep in mind, I'm a goddess and I'm sensitive about my shift. I hope y'all are doing well. I am doing amazing. I wanted to make this video because we have gotten the exact issue with the relationship system. We have got it all captured in a single video, and we are going to really kind of react to some of this content, respond to it, and have a very important conversation about the modern day dynamics between men and women, primarily Black men and women. We're going to literally break this all down. It's going to be a really important, healthy conversation that needs to be had. So I'm going to be pulling this up and breaking some of that down. Now, y'all don't mind my dog. Y'all already know by now. He's just a part of the brand, okay? Now, before we get into this content, ladies, first, can we get into this look, okay? If you've been under a rock, then you would not know. I have a women's only Patreon, which is an amazing community of women from all over the world, all different walks of life. And it acts as a commonplace and support system with women who are solution oriented, want to look good, want to grow, want to do better. And we have so many great activities with each other. We have movie nights, we have get-togethers. I get ready for all of my recorded content live. So I show every makeup product I use. I show how I do my hair. I do not gatekeep anything. So y'all be in the comments, oh, Six, what's that lip combo? Oh, Six, what's that? You ain't got to ask, baby. It's in the Patreon, okay? The link will be in the description to join and check out some of my private content behind the wall where we are safe and can just have a good time and be girls. I also have a second separate Patreon called 6 at 6, which I have a weekly live show called 6 at 6, where I discuss different topics from relationships to current events to different online content. And it's a great way where once a week we kind of tap in, converse about things, have great talks. So the description, in the description will be the link for my other Patreon as well. So I look forward to y'all tapping in with me. Now, the glasses are going on, y'all. Y'all already know when the glasses go on. I mean business. Okay, so shout out to the good sister, Kendra G, for giving us this amazing content that we can use as case studies, okay, to see exactly what is wrong and what's going on these days. So shout out to her. So this is a young man who is 24 years old and is a dating coach, which is problematic in itself. I really dislike this new era. I dislike this new era where men kind of just want to sit down and be behind a laptop as opposed to getting up and doing actual real man's work. It's very discouraging to me. I totally understand now why our blue collar work is in danger. Okay, blue collar work is in danger because I've never seen a generation of men who are literally turn their nose up and look appalled at the mere concept of manual, like real man work. All of these men online with content and dating coaches and all that is so disappointing to me. That's just a whole nother conversation needs to be had. But here we are with 24-year-old guys talking about their dating coaches. All right, so this guy that we're about to look at is a 24-year-old dating coach, which in my opinion is an oxymoron. And then to make it even more rich, he is a 24-year-old divorced dating coach. You cannot make this up. But I also want to give a disclaimer. This man is dead serious. Like when we are about to break this down, don't be in my comments like he's trolling, he was joking. No, he is dead serious about everything that we're about to look at. And there are many men of all ages, not just 24. There are many men of many ages who truly feel this way. I saw even Tony Gaskins talking about he looked at a certain content creator that is no longer with us, that I refuse to mention his name, that he was watching his content and him married to his wife, who's only been with him for decades. Even he started feeling unhappy with his wife and unhappy in his marriage where there was nothing wrong. So I feel like that content really harmed us more than it hurt us. And a problem with a lot of this type of content is I believe many red pill-esque content creators started out meaning well. I do believe that. But I think that once a certain level of money gets involved, once you build an audience, on a trauma bond, you have to keep feeding that audience what they want. You cannot switch audiences in content. If you start out with your content being towards pointing the finger at one person, if you start your content out with it being a place people can come to avoid accountability, unfortunately, you have to maintain that. And I think that some people that might have started out well, once the money start pouring in, once you get the views, you want to keep them up, and it just goes to a toxic place. And before you know it, you end up with very harmful rhetoric. And fast forward years later, and it's still negatively impacting our relationships today. And it goes to show the power that people think that what they listen to and what they're exposed to, that it doesn't affect them. But who are you to say that you're the one exception to the human brain and how it works? It's called programming for a reason. No human brain is strong enough to be like, okay, you're trying to program me for this. Well, I'm not going to do it. It doesn't work that way. So instead, just be more careful about what you ingest at all. There's certain things I don't even want to look at. I don't even want to hear it. Because I'm going to respect the human mind and know that no matter who I am, no matter my religion, no matter your marital status, everything that you see and hear can affect you once it kind of infiltrates your psyche. So, you know, it's sad to me because I work with women, mostly women, very one-on-one. And I have 10 girls right now, I can tell you, are wives. They are ready to be married. They have done the work. They're ready to go. They are like, bring your toothbrush, move and ready. And it's so sad when I have to, you know, see some of the things that they're experiencing in a dating game, some of the things that I had experienced previously in a dating game myself. And it's like, wow, most of this is because of toxic online rhetoric. So we're going to break this down. This personifies majority of the issues today. So I'm going to bring this up. Shout out to Kendra G. Fair use. We're going to be responding and reacting to this content. I'm not going to start at the beginning because this video is a good hour long. So I'm not about to start for the beginning and have us be here for 2 hours. So I'm going to start pretty much right in the thick of where they start having the main part of the conversation. So let me get this played here. All right, sorry, y'all. Let me play this.
Pattern shows that as soon as a woman does something that you don't like, you're just going to move on to another one.
Yeah,
so
absolutely.
If a woman wanted something, I think my observation, if a woman wants to date and just nothing serious, you're the guy for her. You know, date, have a good time. I think you're attractive. But if she wants something serious, you're not the guy.
No, I disagree. I'm both guys. And I can tell you why. So one, so for me, this is how I move. I'll just tell you straight up. Women have to earn the right for me to even care about being like, you know, compassionate outside of normal human decency. So I'll treat anybody with respect, right? But for you to get to a place to where you can do something to me that's actually messing up my life or my livelihood, and it's a riff or like a bump in the road, and then I'm like, okay, we're gonna work through this. That ain't coming in the first 2-3 months. The first 3 months, that's a probationary period, just like a job. I run my stuff just like I do with my job with recruiting and sales. First 90 days, if there's any issues in that, you're gone. I only deal with girls. It got to be 100% cooperation from the jump. If it ain't that, then you gone.
All right, now what he just said right there is going to be very important and very critical to the rest of this conversation we're going to have. Note what he said, which he's correct in that. He says, I'm not about to meet no woman, and within the first 90 days right away, allow her to have certain power or impact over my life or have me taking certain levels of risk, and I don't even know her. Please keep that in mind. That is going to be very important to us having this conversation. He's saying, I'm not about to meet a woman and I don't even know her and give her that level of responsibility over me to where she can actually affect my life. Keep that in mind. And he ate with that because period, young man, you'd be correct on that. But let's keep going. But please remember that part of the conversation because that's going to be important to the rest of this here. Now let's keep going.
You date like you're the prize.
That's like a abstract concept. People can argue.
Because let me say this too. You also, it's one thing if you're dating this way, but I don't know. You tell me if I'm wrong or not. Do you require these women to have sex with you during this non-committed relationship process?
Absolutely. Yeah, of course. They wouldn't even be around for 90 days if they don't do that.
That's stupid. This is really dumb. Any girl that does that with you is stupid. She's gonna agree to have sex with you. So that means she's basically auditioning. That's dumb. I mean, it's dumb because the whole point is this. And men say it time and time again. Whenever a woman comes on my show, and here's the deal. I have conversations with husbands, and then I have conversations with men like you. And there's no judgment. But what I've come to terms is husbands, they value their wives. They look at their wives as, you know, and I'm thinking of like 5 different men who have been married. And of course, life ain't perfect. So they've gone through things, but they look at their wives as a piece of their life that if she left, they couldn't imagine, right? They're like, he fits a puzzle that no other woman can fit in their lives. Then there's men like you, who I think you aesthetically have the attractiveness. You know, you tall, you have the height in your favor, who date as in, you got to be the woman to catch me. You got to lock me down. You just said if a girl's not your girl, if she's not having sex with you, why would a girl have sex with you if she's not your girl? Like, that should be a requirement off the jump if she wants a relationship.
Well, one, I'll say this, they do it all the time. And then the second thing I'll say is that most of the dudes you probably thinking about is weak men. So I don't know, man.
These are very successful men that also, I'm happy you said that. They're actually very successful. A lot of them have a lot of money. And that's one of the reasons, hold on, pause. That's one of the reasons why they don't, because they have so much to lose. See, a lot of you guys don't got shit to lose. So that's why you be around here with so many different women, because you're not worried about losing your business or losing your reputation. These are men that have way more money than you, not trying to be funny, but you call them weak. So let me just break them down. They have way too much to lose to be sleeping with different women every single night that can come back and blow up their whole entire shot. So I mean, listen, if you're, the one thing that's in your favor is you're honest. So I respect that. Any woman that signs up with you knows what she's getting into. But these are not weak men. They're actually very strong, successful men that have a lot of money in the bank.
Wow.
Now that is very true. Okay. And this is why, you know, a lot of men will tell you that when a man is young, he's not ready for certain things. Okay. Because that testosterone pumping, you know, they get a taste of the coop and they just kind of, you know, go ham. And normally it takes a man some time to kind of go through all that. It take a man to go through getting your tire slashed, arguing with a woman all the time, you know, being at work, texting off fast, arguing back and forth and going back. And for most men, it take them time until later in life before they kind of go through all that, get that out their system, and then realize I'm not about to spend no time doing that. And they mature and they get to that place where they don't care. They're not pulling up to Section 8 Keisha's apartment. They're not risking getting robbed. They're not risking Section 8 Keisha messing up their job. You know, so when a man has already gone through the phase of dealing with stalkers and breaking and entering and people keying their car, some men never advance past that because in their mind, they're so egotistical to where they think that women stalking them or keying their car means that their D is so good or they're so fine. But once a man gets over that ego and realizes that women like that do that with any man they deal with, that's just how she is. Women like that are put on this earth to punish men who are overly thirsty and desperate for sex. Anytime a man is moving in sexual desperation and I just want to sleep with this person, most of the women that you meet will be there to punish you. It goes the same way with a woman who is pressed for getting a man's money. And I want his money and I want this and I want that. Most of the men she deals with will abuse, cheat on her because they're abusing her and they're punishing her because they can feel that she is desperate and hard up for that money and for that energy. So most men, when they get older and have some to lose, they get tired of all that. They realize it's a waste of time and they become way more respectful and restricted in the type of women they deal with. Even if they find a woman attractive, they be like, she's attractive, but Section 8 Keisha, man, she has come with too much. I just can't do it. I can't get caught up in that. So in my opinion, that's when a boy really transcends and becomes a man. When just because it's a warm hole that's available does not mean that he's going to automatically jump on it. He is okay with knowing that he has a lot to lose and he just ain't got time for that. But most men are not always like that. Most men do have to get burned a few times, have to have a few bust tires and have a few stalkers before they realize that, you know, the nut still feels the same and the juice ain't worth the squeeze. So I do agree, you know, successful men with something to lose, they have a certain standard of women that they deal with because they know that every woman, and I've been saying this for years, every woman that a man go to bed with, that woman has the power to literally make you lose everything. And some men are so egotistical to say, no woman can make me lose everything. Stop it. Stop it. Every woman you bring in your bed, every single woman that you put your thing in, she now has the power to make you lose everything. You better believe it. You know, so I do believe that, you know, when a man gets to that point, you know, it's better for all parties involved. So I agree with Kendra on that behalf.
I don't, and Kendra, I say this respectfully. I enjoy this dialogue, by the way. So same respect you're giving me, I'm giving it to you. I don't care how much money they make. So money don't make a man, strong or weak. So it's more about the mindset. So I'm saying the fact that you saying that the way that they would talk about their women is they can't live without them, like it's some sort of Michael Bolton tune or something that they living out every day. That's not what a man would do. See, I know I can live without any woman. You see what I'm saying? So that's the problem.
It's very problematic when a man say I can live without any woman, and not to be offensive to this young man, but I find that to be a very homosexual statement, because only homosexual men don't need a woman. Most heterosexual men would not want to live on this earth if women were not here. If you told the average heterosexual man, hey, if tomorrow we got rid of all women, like there would be no more women left on this earth, would you want to stay here or would you want to go? 98% of heterosexual men will be like, just take me with them. Just take me with them, because what am I going to do here on earth with just a bunch of niggas? You know what I'm saying? So I find that very odd. Men who are like, I can live without a woman. I don't need a woman. Well, that's super weird. Heterosexual men, yes, they cannot live without a woman. Yes, they need a woman. And it's not saying that you're not an independent person, that you can't, conduct your life without a woman. But to say I don't need any woman is super odd to me. As a heterosexual woman, I'll tell you right now, honey, I need a man. I myself would not want to live on this earth with just a bunch of coochie. It's a bunch of women everywhere with no man. I feel the same way, baby. Take me to the king. Okay, take me to the king, Lord. If the aliens come get all the men, baby, take me with them. Okay, I'm heterosexual, baby. Hell no, I don't want to be here with a bunch of other women. Just coochie everywhere. No, thank you. So it's okay to be heterosexual and have that level of vulnerability of, hell nah, baby. I need the opposite sex. I ain't gonna hold you, baby. I ain't finna sit here and cat with you. I ain't finna sit here and try to sound good. Yeah, baby, I need that. Okay. The reason why men need women is because men are overly adaptive creatures. Okay. When you see them men accomplish great things and they get up and they make their speech and they cry and they say, I really want to thank my wife. Without her, I wouldn't have made it. What they mean is, if it's not for their women, men will adapt to having nothing. Okay. Women is what makes men want to get up and do more. If it wasn't for women, men will adapt to living in a studio apartment and never shower or bathe regularly and wash their ass and play video games all day. Men will easily adapt to their circumstance. Men are designed to be adaptive to their circumstance. So when you hear a man say, I couldn't have done it without my woman, what it means is, with my wife there, with my woman around, I thank goodness that I never just gave up and just adapted and did with less and not achieve my highest potential, because that's what a man would do if it's just him or if it's just other men. So I think some young brothers misunderstand what men mean when they say I couldn't have done it without my wife, aka I would have just adapted to my circumstances instead of constantly pushing. A man having a woman, having a family, that's what keeps him going of, I can't just sit here and give up. I can't just sit here and do without and do less. I have someone that has those expectations of me. So don't be in your ego so much to where it's like, I don't need you. I don't need no woman. What the married men are saying is, I am so glad my wife kept me to those standards. I'm so glad my wife kept me to that expectation. Okay, so that's for the young brothers. Don't get so caught up in you're listening to this from a low vibration of I don't need no woman. It's a lot. It's a lot more layered than that, and it's actually perfectly okay. Let's keep going.
Problem for me just hearing that. I don't care how much money they make. To me, that little rhetoric of like, you make a certain amount of money, like I'm a six-figure earner. I've been making six figures since I was 21. That doesn't validate me or make me feel any better. That's just what I make. You know what I'm saying?
Listen,
back in the day as a woman, it was like a good thing to hear a man be like, I make six figures. Like it was like a great thing to hear. Now, honey, the minute I hear a man say I make six figures, I cringe. Like it makes my teeth hurt. It makes a tingle go up my spine. I am disturbed. The minute that's become a red flag now. Y'all do understand that somehow in this age of people wanting to flex on the opposite sex because of what they make, it is now officially a red flag when you hear a man be like, yeah, what I'm saying, I make six figures. Red flag. Okay. Red flag. It has been, and I never thought we'd see the day, but it has. My, how things have changed, my God, today.
And at the end of the day, I respect your viewpoint. And like I stand by what I said earlier. Husband, that's how they talk. Men like you who don't, I mean, you was once married. I don't know what happened to your marriage. But we could go further. You said your piece.
Well, I think that's
He was once married. I don't know what happened to your marriage. I mean, by what he's saying, it's clear as to what happened to his marriage. He was a young man who married a girl clearly when they were young. There was more than likely absolutely nothing wrong with that marriage, because he later discloses in this video that he's actually still sleeping with his ex-wife. So it's clearly a young woman who wanted to be with him and planned on staying with him. But what happened was he got misguided. You know, these young guys, when they see men 50, 60 years old who have failed at their relationships and they're just simply mad because their child calls another man daddy and their ex-wife moved on and didn't miss a beat and just replaced them. And now the only way they have any type of control over the situation is to shame the man that married their ex, and now their child claims their father instead of their biological father. They let men that failed project their failures, and they let a man trying to just gain some type of control over their child, over their ex. They let men who have lost and failed as men and fathers, they have taken all of their bitterness, all their regrets, whatever straws they were grasping at to have some control over their children or their exes, and they have internalized that and started living their life like that. That rhetoric is for men who are older and already failed and were never able to obtain what they really wanted. It's not for brand new, fresh 24-year-olds. And Black men and women on both sides, we have a certain level of responsibility to where you need to be careful what you're saying, okay? Because these young people truly internalize all of these things you're doing. And it goes the same women. You have women where their whole life could never find a man to be good to them and be faithful to them and treat them right. So they tell all these other young girls, it's impossible. Just go get the bag. Don't worry about it. And these young girls now are moving. These young girls are now moving so badly, you can't even find someone to do your hair. These older women have instilled this level of disregard and no integrity, and it's all about the money to these young girls so bad, you can't even find one to do your hair. You try to do your hair, they don't show up, overcharge, cancel, horrible customer service attitudes, because they have truly internalized this rhetoric from older women who failed and never was able to find a man be good to them. They have now internalized that, and they're embracing that failure at 18. So now at 18, they already like, screw you, I don't care, get the bag, nothing else matters, money, money, money. So this young man is an example of that too, of older men who took their failures and now he's living his life on another man's deepest regrets. Okay. So what happened? He married young, was a good girl, more than likely. And he listened to the rhetoric of older, failed, bitter men. And he more than likely started flexing on his wife and now thought that he was too good for her. If we have men like Tony Gaskins, where his wife has 2 of his children, you know what I'm saying? Tony Gaskins never said his woman had 30,000 other dicks than his. So this is the ideal situation. If even he was able to begin to side-eye his wife, imagine a 21-year-old that's married. And now he don't flexed on his wife and ends up divorced by 24. Nothing was wrong with that girl. Nothing was wrong with that marriage. This is all poison that poisoned him, got in his mind, and caused him to now have an issue with the marriage where there was none. Let's keep going.
Shows that I'm willing to marry. You know what I'm saying? So
I think the biggest thing that you expect a woman to have sex with you, knowing that you're dating other women, and knowing that.
And y'all, please disregard the sound during this part. This is not me. She was having some issue with her audio at this part. So if it sounds a little bit odd, it is on this end, but it does eventually go away. Why won't you leave me alone today? You want attention today, sir? Y'all, all of a sudden, all day have been fine. The minute I start recording, now my fur baby just acts like he must be all in my face. Why do that?
That's a girlfriend. To me, it'd be different if you're like, I'll date a woman who's like, I'm not gonna have sex with you with people, other women, but you're like, you won't even date that woman.
Well, women only do that when they don't like you. So like you saying all of this, but in the real life world, like when you go out with a girl, women will ditch everything that they think as soon as they meet guys that they actually like. Okay. And all the women in the chat, they know it's true. They go out with guys and they'll lose all the rhetoric that they watch, because when they meet a guy that they actually like, not only do they do it because they don't want him to leave, but they themselves want to do it. You know, so the one thing that I always tell guys is how much women enjoy doing the dudes just like men. So women do this all the time. It don't matter what you're saying. I'm not trying to be funny. I'm just saying like they doing it.
You know, when men say, you know, women enjoy doing the do just like men, that just makes me cringe when I hear it, because that is not true. Okay, the average man's penis is 5 inches on their best day. Okay, the whole reason why institutions like monogamy was even invented is because typically women would just share. If we're talking about just a woman's lowest nature, a woman is going to go after the Morris Chestnut type. Okay. If we're going off of low nature on women like to have sex too, if you are a man under like 6'7", if you are a man with an average size penis, a woman is not you. She is definitely doing you the favor. Okay. Monogamy had to be instituted because what was happening is women would just sit and share the biggest, tallest, richest man with the biggest penis. And that one big giant man would have 30 women sharing one of him. And the other men, which is majority of men who were regular size, regular height, they instituted monogamy because it was like, hey, all these hoes, they sharing this one guy. I want one too. And a part of most men's allure is the fact that she'll be your only one. So I find it so funny when men like this, the average guy, has the attitude like they want to have, she ain't doing me a favor. She actually is. Okay. She actually is, because, sir, no. Okay. A woman can literally have intercourse with pretty much any man she wants. Okay. A woman can wake up today and say, you know what? I'm going to get some today, and she could be guaranteed to get it. It doesn't work like that for a man. A woman, for the most part, can go to any man, and if you go to him and be like, hey, daddy, what's up? Here, go the address. Meet me here tonight. He going to be there. He could be a billionaire. He could be broke, whether he's a pookie, whether he's a CEO, it doesn't matter. Okay. The woman can do it. A woman can choose whoever she wants to sleep with. So there needs to be a certain level of respect there, that no, her sleeping with you and giving you some, yes, it is something to be appreciative of. And it's the same way with a woman, with a man providing for you. Any woman will take a man's money. Okay. So when a man chooses to provide for you, work hard to take care of you, you need to appreciate and respect that. So it's this lack of appreciation and respect on both sides that leaves us as a community in this weird, angry, and bitter place where the women act like they're entitled to a man's provision and the men act like they're entitled to a woman's body, when really, if that is going on, both people should just respect it and treat it right. Okay. Not look down like you ain't doing me a favor. Well, they actually are. Okay. Let's keep going.
So I ain't got to worry about no girl not doing
it. Let me see if we're still echoing. We have an echo, so I'll continue with you. Yes, I don't know what's happened. You said you're not recording? We have women need to stop doing that. Stop throwing out your standards for the guy that got a big penis or a lot of money, because what happens is
women don't throw out their standards for a man with a big penis. Only goofies do that. Okay. We need to understand there is a high difference between a grown woman and a little girl. You can't move a grown woman to do nothing. I'm gonna be honest with y'all. Okay. A grown woman, you cannot trick her into anything. You can't talk her into anything. You just can't do it. Grown women stand on business. All right. So saying that, oh, some women, just because a man is cute, she'll put everything out the window. Childish little girls. Grown women don't care. And grown women have attractive men try to get at them all the time. She gonna look at you like, is you finished or you done? Only lame women, goofy women, lame, game goofy women, fat girls, ugly girls. Those are the only girls who meet a man that's cute and start bucking their eyes and go against everything for him. Okay. Grown women, you don't move a grown woman like that. And we're going to expound more on that later. But I don't agree with that part. Only goofies do that. Okay. Only goofies be like, oh, he cute and he light skinned, and go to bucking their eyes and just throw all of what they want out the window. Be so for real. Grown women, child, please. Anyway, let's keep going.
We're not going to take you serious when you come with your standards for them, because there is truth to that part. I would definitely give you that. All right, we got a lot of paid questions. I want to continue with you, but do you want the paid questions for you?
Absolutely. And I just want to say one thing on what you just said real quick. Can you hear me clearly? I totally disagree with the part that women should not do that. I think women should do that. I don't think there's nothing wrong with it. And I actually think
you think a woman should agree to have sex with a man knowing that he's having sex with other women?
Yeah, because they having sex with other guys.
So a woman should agree to potentially get an STD or get pregnant by a man who's not her man, even though he's having sex with other women. You think a woman should agree to that?
So no, but let me add this in there real quick. Sex does not automatically, and I was just having this conversation today, sex does not automatically equate to a pregnancy, to an STI. It's not that difficult to get somebody tested.
It's not that condoms every time you have sex.
Yeah, absolutely. That's part of my program. Yeah. Nah. Yeah, got to.
Now, I don't know if we've gotten to this point yet, or if we passed it, but he talks about how he's sleeping with like 7 to 10 women a month. Okay. Now, y'all in the comments, we all grown here. Do y'all really think that this man is over here, every woman he sleep with, getting them tested for STDs, and that he's wearing a condom every single time? The man said that he just slept with his ex-wife 2 weeks ago. Do y'all think him and his ex-wife used a condom? Do y'all think that this young, horny, dating coach sleeping with 10 women a month? Do y'all put in the comments if y'all believe this man is using a condom every single time? If y'all think that, put in the comments. I'm telling y'all right now, he absolutely is not. Let's stop it. You're not getting all these women tested. And the way you know that is because getting tested take a long time, baby. You got to make an appointment, go in. They got to draw blood, and it take a good 10 days before you get your results. Okay. It takes 7 to 10 business days. So I always know when a man is saying he sleep with all these women, he get them all tested, you're lying. Because you just said that they got to sleep with you on the first date. So that would have to mean that 10 days prior to your first date, you already had them go get their blood work done. And even if that was the case, within that 10 days, she could have went and slept with someone within that 10 days and still have caught something. So it's the lying for me. The part that is extremely scary to me is in the beginning of this video, you stated that you would never allow a woman to have any real impact on your life in a way where it could affect you or make you have to risk anything. Yet in the same breath, you turn around and say, but women should sleep with me on the first day. All right. And we all know by now that women hold the risk when it comes to intercourse. Okay. Women are the ones that have to deal with potential, pregnancy. Women are the ones that have the highest rates of STDs, STIs, because your vagina pretty much is an incubator for bacteria. It is a warm, wet, dark environment. A man will simply have sex with a woman, wash his dick off in the sink with Irish Springs, and going about his day. All right. For a woman, your symptoms, your bacterial vaginosis, your STDs will be totally different. It will be you spending 9 months being pregnant. It will be you dealing with the social shame of having slept with this person or being a single mom. It will be you. He will go wash his dick off in the sink, keep going. He will be the man. You will be the one that's the hoe. You will be the one sitting there with bacterial vaginosis with your vagina smelling like capers and Caesar salad. And he will have been going on to the next. Women hold 100% of the risk when it comes to intercourse. And we're going to expound more in a moment on why he desires to see how much a woman will risk for him first before he has entered any risk into the situation. All right. So it just goes to show the psychology that they understand that what they're saying is wrong. They know it. They're just searching for the women who will fall for it so they can be disgusted with them and punish them. But we'll get more into that. Let's keep going.
Well, I would say this. There's something called oxytocin. And when a lot of times, like you said earlier, this is why women have to be.
And it's oxytocin. You know what I realized about Kendra? God forgive me. I love Kendra, but I realized Kendra is just a little bit, tiny bit slow. Sometimes she try to read something, she can't read her, and she say the words wrong. I'd be like, my God, today, Kendra, sometimes you give a little bit slow, sis. I'm so sorry, but we need you to work on your literacy skills because, Lord, every time I turn around, you reading something wrong. You can't read something, Lord. Have mercy on our soul, Lord.
More careful on who they give their vagina to, because you said earlier you have crazy girls. And I'm assuming these might, I don't know, you tell me if I'm wrong. Are these women you once had sex with?
Yeah.
Okay, so when a woman has sex, oxytocin is released, and it usually makes her like the man more. And sometimes the opposite happens for the guy. He's been working so hard, he's being the guy because he hasn't gotten your vagina yet. So as you get more connected, the goal that he had switches off. So now it transfers. The woman is like, oh, I really want you because it's the oxytocin that got released during sex. And you, because you kind of already hit it, may not be as interested. So it's not in the woman's favor. No, you can look this up about oxytocin. It's not a woman's favor if she wants a serious relationship to create a soul tie with a man that she might not be able to have a serious relationship with. Now, be clear, I'm talking about serious relationship. If a woman just wants to have fun and that's what she wants, don't really want nothing more, then okay, that makes sense. But I don't think a woman should agree to knowingly have sex with a man that is telling her, oh yeah, I'm sleeping with other women too, and she should be okay with that.
Okay, so I disagree with the whole thing. I would call that societal programming, like that whole pair bonding, oxytocin, all that stuff. I don't care how many bodies a woman got. That means nothing to me. So, because you can pair bond and be connected. There's people right now that got 30, 40 bodies. They in long-term relationships. There's people that got 2 or 3, and she can't keep a man to save her life. You see what I'm saying? So, to me, there's no consistency there to say that sleeping with anybody is going to make you better or worse when it comes to pairing with somebody.
No. I'm talking about when we said the woman went crazy. I'm telling you why she went crazy.
They was just crazy.
No, it's a scientific fact. You can look it up. That's why women get more emotionally connected after they have sex. You can look this up. I'm not making this up.
No, I know what you're getting.
You can just understand why some women, as you're saying, goes crazy after sex. Now, I'm assuming you don't mind if she's sleeping with other men.
Of course not.
Okay, fair enough. Let's get to some of the paid questions because there's a lot of them. There's so many. I don't know if I can read them all. I'll try. SEA said, well, no, I think it depends on the type of woman you're dealing with. I think your pool is attracting your kind. So. Okay. Kendra, he's recording. Go back and watch.
I'm not recording anything, Kendra. You're going to see this. I ain't recording anything.
Okay. Emotional Cancer said, let's hear from his ex-wife. This is a to-me red pill.
Me and her, we still in contact. We saw each other not that long ago. So she'll have sex? Yeah, we did.
Was that the woman you was with on Thanksgiving?
No.
So you still sleep with your ex-wife. I don't know. You seem very transparent. How many women are you currently having sex with?
Now, when I first heard this, I wanted to say that the ex-wife got to be slow to still sleep with him. But then I said, you know what? Let me not be judgmental. Let me really think about this from her perspective. And I can only imagine what a mind fuck this probably is for her. That she thinking, I'm proud of her for wanting to get married young and do the right thing. And I can only imagine how hurtful and what a mind fuck that is for her to marry this man thinking we're in this forever and have him begin to watch certain content online and have him then suddenly just switch up on you and start flexing on you. And I can only imagine how much that probably mentally affected her. And she's probably having a hard time accepting it. But young lady, if you're watching this, please stop sleeping with this man. Go get you a man who is 35 plus and just act like he never existed, young woman. Please, young lady, do not sleep with this man ever again. This man is a male succubus. He has a lot of growing and a lot of things he has to work through. He's going to have to really go out here and get burnt and grow on his own. But by sleeping with this young man who is confused, sweetie, you are having so much confusion and hatred and resentment enter your womb. And every time you let that man sleep with you, he resents you a little bit more. Okay. So please, young lady, if you see this, listen to your big sister. I know that you probably still love him. I know you planned on being with him forever, but sweetie, let it go, baby. Okay. Let it go. It ain't what you thought it was. And it's time to move on, baby girl. Okay. So if you see this, please let that be the last time you allow that man inside your body. That man gonna have you at the clinic. That man gonna have you with BV. He gonna have you spiritually confused, emotionally confused. Please, for your own pH balance, for your own mental and physical health, don't do it, young lady. If you see this, listen to your big sister. Matter of fact, if you are this man's ex-wife, I will give you a free consultation. Okay. I will give you a free membership into my group and we can really work through this issue, honey, because you don't need to ever sleep with this man again. Okay.
I'm going to be honest with you. I have to sit down and think about it. I know over the last month, I slept with 7 different women, new women.
In the last month?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. And all these women know that you're sleeping with this amount of women?
I mean, they don't know that because they don't ask. I just give the information that's necessary. That's fine. I'm living in my truth.
Okay. Willis Wilson said, facts, women act brand new depending on the guy situational. I can agree with that. I said that to you. I can agree with that. And that is a reason why. And again, I don't claim to be a dating coach, but when you talk to people for almost 5 years, you hear men's assessment. And that's one of the things I hear the most is men get mad at women's standards because they feel like the standards only apply to certain men. So I've heard that before. And that's a point I will give you.
Well, I think guys who wait to sleep with women are weak. So I'll call them beta males.
A guy that waits to sleep with a woman. So how fast should a guy have sex with a woman?
it's not necessarily a set timeline that I teach, but it should be what he wants. So like if you're trying to sleep with a girl on the first night or the second night and she says no, she's not that type of girl. For one, that's BS. She's just doing that to you because she don't like you. But
hold on. There are some women even that don't have sex on the first night.
That really hurts me to hear. And what hurts me about that is he really means that. He truly believes that. Now, if you're a guy that is just out here trying to hook up, then, you know, what he's saying is true. You know what I'm saying? If you're not even trying to stick around for a real relationship and you just trying to get some, then yeah, it is a matter of moving quick and getting the numbers game. It might not be worth it to have to sit on the phone with her for 3 weeks and act like you like her to get some. So, you know, if you're a guy and you're just trying to get laid, then yeah, it's all about numbers and probability. But my issue is he's saying he's a dating coach. He is trying to say, I am open to relationships. I am open to getting married, while still giving out this tactic. And it's so harmful in so many ways. And it's so dangerous because you're now creating an idea in a man's mind that, okay, I don't took her out to eat. Y'all already know my video, Wigs and Lies. Matter of fact, let me link that in the description. Y'all already know Wigs and Lies. So now the man don't took you out to eat. He don't have to pay for hookah, Casamigos, lemon pepper, and everything else. And what you're doing is you're making men feel like if he wants to get with her sexually on that first date, that she has to, and that if she don't, he's weak or she's playing him. And you already know that 100% sets men up to grape. Am I saying that a man can make another man grape? I'm not necessarily saying that, but creating a narrative in a man's head of, oh, it's the first date. You want her to come home with you and she won't, man. That man, she over here using you. She don't sit over here and ate this steak dinner, ordered 2-3 rounds of drinks, order dessert, and she ain't gonna sleep with you. What, you some punk? Oh, she gonna give you some. That is the narrative that you create, and it's super gross and it's so scary. And this is why I never had no more children. I would just, if I had a daughter child, I have to just keep her I'll have to keep her homeschooled. I have to keep her ass on a damn leash. Like, imagine your daughter running into a man. I have to kill this man. Imagine your daughter running into a man like this. Child, he had to go. I'll be just like the United Healthcare assassin. Okay. I would be, you would have to get disappeared so quick and get unalive so quick, and I'm going to disappear and never exist again. I have to pull a United CEO unalive move because, honey, I just would never, my daughter, my worst nightmare would be my daughter coming in contact with a man like this. He have to go. So this is so scary. I really wish that, you know, please remember, young man, you have potential, you have sisters, you have a mother, you might have a daughter one day. Do you want your daughter going on one date with a man and having a gun to her head, having to decide if she want to risk everything to give him some or not, with the risk of him potentially pressuring her or feeling as though she used him and feeling like he got to force himself on her? I don't like, in my opinion, anyone who still pushes this rhetoric, like, you are just as guilty as the people getting, you know, harmed by hyping up and putting a battery in the back of men to think that, you know, if a woman's not doing this or that, when you say it, that she's playing you. This is so dangerous and scary.
Yeah, because they don't like the guy. That's the only reason they do it.
That's not true. You can't say that. That's not true.
No, I can't say it. It's true.
There's women that are married to men who they did not have sex with on the first night.
Yeah, like, and hold on, I got you. And she leads the relationship. So I'm gonna tell you why. If he wanted to do it, that's an instruction or like a leadership. He was trying to lead it to the bedroom. She told him no. So once he did sleep with her, you can sleep with women like that. But what you're doing is you're submitting to women. So the whole relationship is already set on the foundation that you followed her lead. She told you when you was gonna get it. You did everything to get her. It's supposed to be the other way around. You're the leader. She's supposed to be doing stuff to get you. So when you say it's time to go into the bedroom, that's when it's time to do it. If she doesn't do it, she's uncooperative. She's not submitting, which is fine. That's her right. But you need to walk away. That's what I tell guys all the time.
Now, see, this is the thing. And I'm going to use the example with women first. When a woman is too desperate to go straight towards, give me your money, take me shopping, provide for me, she's trying to rush to your finances, because that's what men care about. Men don't care about their bodies. They don't care about their penis. They care about their money, okay? They'll waste their penis with 10 women, but they won't waste their money with 10 women, right? So when you see a woman who is going straight to the provision aspect, she going straight to the money aspect, she's doing that because she has zero intentions of performing wifely duties and womanly duties for you. So she already knows she's not doing that. So let's just go ahead and skip straight to the money. And it goes the same with a man. A man that goes straight to, I'm the man, obey me, submit to me, and listen to me. Men that go straight to that before they have earned it, proved it, given it time to manifest on its own, built that trust, built a consistent pattern. Men that date you and go straight to, she better cooperate with me. And she better listen to me, and she better be on my program. What? You ain't gonna listen to what I gotta say? You are hard-headed. Men who go straight to policing, whether you listen to him or not, that means he has zero intention on actually being a man to you. Okay, he just here for an ego stroke. He just here to have you listen to make him feel better about himself. He ain't got no intention on, being a proper man to you. So it's always a red flag when a man goes straight to listen to me. Super weird. Okay. Healthy men don't have any problem taking their time to gradually work towards building that level of responsibility. Okay. So ladies, I wish a man would be with you on the first date. My question to you, young man, and forgive me, y'all know I'm country. I don't know how else to say this in the appropriate way, but who is you? Who is you? Who you is? You know what I'm saying? Are you insane? The audacity of someone to be on the first date with someone. They don't know you from a can of paint. And in the end of this video, by the way, just stay tuned to the end. He is going to 100% completely contradict himself in the worst way at the end of this video. But who is you? Who is you to sit here on a first date and act like, oh, she better get with my program? She don't know you. You just sat here and said that you would never let a woman have any impact on your life outside of at least 3 months. So you're going to sit here and say that she should give you the highest levels of herself and have you inside her body because you said so on the first date? Who is you? And only men who don't have the substance are rushing to sleep with you quickly because he knows there ain't nothing else here. Okay. So they want to sleep with you before you find out that there's no future. They want to sleep with you before you find out that was it. Besides me being cute and having a good mouth game, that's it. I personally don't find this man to be cute. I think this new age of women is attracted to feminine looking men. When I see a man look feminine, he got a twist out. You know what I'm saying? Look like he used more hair products than me. That to me, I cannot be turned on by that. But I understand that most women nowadays, they are attracted to feminine looking men. But that is their MO, is I want her before she finds out that I ain't really hitting on nothing, before she finds out that there really ain't no future with me. I don't even really have a real plan for us. I want to rush and get to that finish line. I don't want to waste my time because I don't want her to figure out that, there's nothing else here. Okay. That's what that means. So it's so weird that not only to say that you think that these women should sleep with you on the first date, but to take it as far as to say, oh, and y'all men, and the shame other men and say, oh, y'all men are weak. Okay. If you actually wait for her to consent, she's going to run the relationship for the rest of the time. Wow. Okay. This is terrifying.
And so what they don't realize is when you get resistance in the beginning from a woman, like in the beginning, you're trying to sleep with her the first night, second night, especially knowing that all women, they done slept with some guy fast. I don't care what they say. The fact that she's doing that, she's setting the relationship up on her terms. You slept with her on her terms. That's a no-no. That's why she's never going to cooperate 100%.
Saying all women have slept with some guy fast. Well, every man has been punked out and played by a woman before. Every man has spent bread on a woman before where it led to nothing. So I don't understand that mindset. Like, okay, every woman don't slept with a man fast before. Okay, and every man don't been treated like a bitch ass nigga by a woman before. Does that mean I can treat you like a bitch ass nigga because another woman did before? You know what I'm saying? That is the most weird, rapey mindset to me is, oh, you slept with another woman fast. Okay, and a pussy asshole tried you like a bitch ass nigga before. Does that mean I don't owe you any respect? All right, I don't get that. You know what I'm saying? Can we stop with these talking points that only sound good on a podcast? When you really think about how it would apply in the real life, it doesn't even make any sense. Just please stop repeating the stuff that makes no sense at all.
So you can get married to her, but she the one that's got the pants on the relationship. So I'm not trying to deal with that.
Okay, let me jump in. So I want to say this. I'm not a married woman. So the things I'm about to talk about are from successful marriages that are very close friends and things that I have learned from marriages. I really feel sad for this current generation because you guys really have no clue about marriage. Everything you just said is about leading. I pray for you in life that no hardship ever happens to you because you're speaking like you're 24 years old. God forbid you get with a woman and yeah, you're up. God forbid you get into a car accident and you can't work anymore. That woman's going to have to hold it down. Marriage is a partnership. And this is what's being lost because men have these egos so much that they keep saying a man has to lead. Well, life happens. And as you live life, you're going to learn that. And things go up. You can lose your job. The girl got to hold it down. She can lose her job. You got to hold it down. That's what marriage is. It's a partnership. It's about two people coming together to hold each other down. But a lot of this is being lost in this art because you, as a dating coach, are teaching men egotistical shit. And that's why I said you're not, listen, if you want to date, you're right, a dating coach. I don't see how you're ever going to last in a marriage with that mindset because life happens. There's no guarantee that God is not going to humble you where you're going to be in a position where your wife got to hold it down. So all this rhetoric about you being the leader is just bullshit. You want to find a person that you can rock out with life with, and life goes up and down. And this is why the internet has ruined so many relationships because that one piece people don't want to talk about. But I pray that you never have to experience hardship and that you can be this man to hold it down as the way you're speaking. But live a little bit longer and maybe you'll learn otherwise.
I ain't gonna lie, Kendra ate with that one, honey. She ain't never lied. Okay. Nothing causes misfortune to a man more than moving in ego with his woman. I'm telling y'all right now, if you flex on, and that's why for this young man, I'm not wishing bad on this man. I'm just speaking on what inevitably is going to happen, which is why I said for his ex-wife, you need to distance yourself from this man because the bad misfortune that's coming to him, you don't want to get hit with the energy that is inevitably going to get returned back to him. Young men like this, when they do get burned, they get burned really bad. Kendra is correct. When you move an ego with your woman, the way that the universe will bring that around and humble you so quick, if you flex on your woman or move egotistical with your woman, when God created man to serve, God created man to solve, God created man to innovate. That's what God created man to do. When you step outside that purpose and move an ego, and I know what I'm doing, and you gonna listen to me, and I'm gonna this. When you put that energy out there, especially towards your wife, you don't even want to see the consequence of that. When I tell you, you will be on the highest horse. And when you flex on your woman like that, when you move in your ego like that, the way God gonna bring all that crumbling down will have you ready to jump off a cliff. All right. So young man, if I were you, you got a little bit too much dip on your chip, sir. I'm telling you, stop flexing on your woman like that. Nobody, man or woman in a relationship, should ever treat their partner like, I did you a favor by being here. You lucky that I'm with you. You, man, I could have had anyone. No one. The worst way to cause yourself horrible luck is to treat your partner that way. I don't give a damn who you are, how good you look, how much money you have, what percentile. You want to cause yourself some bad karma, flex on your partner. God created us to live with each other and help each other to get through life. The minute you treat your partner like, do you know who I am? Lucky I'm even here. Baby, it go downhill from there. Okay. And when that happens to you as a man, unfortunately, there is nothing anyone can do to help you. You will be stuck pulling yourself up by your bootstraps to recover from it. So young man, if you know what's good for you, you will stop with this ego. Nothing good is coming from it, my brother. No man ever gets away with this. Mark my words. Please stop that. Take you a slice of humble pie. All right. You don't, when you lead with that energy in a marriage, you end with that energy in the marriage.
Can I respond to that?
Which explains why you're divorced.
Do you want to keep going?
Absolutely, you could respond.
My response to that, and you might be a little surprised, I'm a lot more nuanced than you probably think. So everything you just said, there's nothing in there that I disagree with. But what I would say is how you start, right, is how you're going to finish. So from the beginning, when I hear you talk about leadership and like a woman holding it down for me and stuff, Yeah, that's the whole thing. You would want a woman that would do that for you. Like, I'm not opposed to that. I have no ego, by the way. I have no ego.
The reason I went there and I let you talk and I got to jump in, that's not what you just said. You just said that a woman that does that means the woman's leading the relationship, and I will never let a woman lead the relationship. So that's why that's not true, because a man could lead. I'm gonna give you an example of what I'm thinking of. One of my friends married an athlete. So he's million plus, right? When they got married, he got injured about 1.5 years into their marriage. And then she had to step up. So he came in, if you want to say the leader, yeah, but then life happened. And not only did he lose his career, he lost the mindset. You know, a lot of things come with that. You know, the ego, the cheers. You didn't make it as far as you thought within your career. So you're dealing with just not money loss, but she had to step up and hold her husband down while they had to go through that phase in their marriage. So I would never agree with, I understand what you're saying as in leadership, but the people that I know that are married, they have partnerships, and sometimes different people may lead in different parts of the marriage.
Yeah. So, and
that is a huge fact. Okay. You don't want to, especially at 24, especially being so inexperienced, don't even set yourself up to where you want a woman where it's like, do what I say. I don't want to hear nothing you got to say. And I'm the leader and I'm the man. Don't set yourself up that way, because, you know, my brother, you've already stated how you start is how you continue. Don't set that relationship up where, shut up, I'm the man, don't tell me anything. There are certain times your woman might be more knowledgeable or more experienced with you in certain things. There might be a season of your life where your woman might make more money than you. And if you operate in that way of, I'm the man, I know it all, don't tell me anything, well, unfortunately, your woman's going to have to sit back and let you stand on that. And when life happens, because one thing about life is life gonna life, okay? One thing about it, life is gonna life. Don't set yourself up to silence your partner. When that is the whole point of marriage. When you know your wife has a strong point in a certain element, let that be that. Let that be that. Don't lead with an iron fist in your marriage to where you cannot appreciate your partner's strong points. And your partner being stronger or more knowledgeable or experienced in a certain element doesn't take anything away from you. Why? Because that's your spouse. You two are one. Okay. If your spouse is super knowledgeable and experiences something, there ain't no reason to feel like, oh, how dare you? They're on your side. They're on your team. Okay. When you treat your partner like, I know what I'm doing, don't do this. That makes no sense. How about you use it to your advantage? How about you embrace it? The way that you're thinking of relationships, young man, is just simply not sustainable. That's just not how life really goes, you know. And I would say you don't know that, but I'm sure you do know that, because once again, it's why you're currently divorced, you know. And as you continue on with life, you're going to learn that podcast stuff, implementing that into your actual marriage, it doesn't really work. That's not how life really goes. Life is ups and down. Life is up and down. Life be lifing. No man can ever sit and be like, yeah, I know everything, and it's what I say, I don't want to hear you. That ain't how life works. And if you do think that life gonna humble you so quick, it'll make your head spin.
My articulation of it, I wouldn't call that leadership, but as far as like the specifics of what you're talking about, I think all of that is fine. All I'm saying is this, plain and simple. If a guy's desire is to sleep with a woman on the second night and she says no, when we get to the bare bones of it, that is a woman being uncooperative with what the instruction that you're giving. That's as simple as what it is. And
hold on, pause. I want to make sure I hear you clearly. So if a man wants to have sex with a woman on the second date and she says no, you consider that uncooperative?
Yeah, because he gave her an instruction. Okay. She said no. That's what that is.
How was you cool? How is you cool? Yo, this is wild. Imagine if women met a man, okay? You at a day party, you vibing, you meet a man, you start talking, he said, you want to go to brunch tomorrow? Okay. Y'all go to brunch. After brunch, you're like, all right, now I'm going to tell you what I need you to do. I need you to listen, okay? What I need you to do is take your feet and put them in the air. Okay, take that pussy and spread it like this and hold it open and let me in. What? You ain't do it? See, I knew you were uncooperative. And see, this is all part of the game. That's all part of the game. Let me go ahead and present myself as this, you know, eligible bachelor that makes this amount of money. And I need to make it so that you want to be a part of this. And so then when I tell you what I want and you say no, that's what they're going to do is, see, you ain't submissive. See, you weren't my type anyway. See, you ain't even cooperative. See, you don't even listen. And only pick me, sheltered, slow women will, and they do that so the women will say, no, I promise, I can listen, I can see, and have them feet like this. That's the whole premise of it. Men like this young man were typically raised by very controlling, very abusive single mothers. Unfortunately, I don't even have to ask. I know for a fact this man was never raised consistently with a man in his life. I can tell guys like this spent their whole childhood being overly controlled. His mom more than likely was physical with him, probably spanked him, put her hands on him. This is why I tell women raising young men, you have to respect him as a man. When you're raising a girl, it's different than when you're raising a boy. You need to always keep him with a certain level of control and autonomy over his life, regardless of his age. Because if you do not, he then will grow up to be a man who is looking for vengeance. Okay. The control that he never got with you, the fact that he associates your face as his mother with emasculating him, every woman he deals with after that will have to be a victim of him trying to prove control. So that's why now with a woman, he's just seeking out whichever women he feels will risk the most for him. And it's crazy because he wants to see, he pushes the women to sleep with him quickly because he wants to feel like, see, I knew she was weak. I knew she couldn't stand on business. I'm stronger than her. I convinced her to do what I want her to want. See, I'm a man. I feel better about myself now. That's all this is. I could almost guarantee, I don't be willing almost to bet my life that his mama, he had a very controlling mama who spanked him and told him every move to make him want to sleep, eat it. I can almost guarantee you. Okay. And this is why real women, you want to commit to a woman who knows how to see through men's shit and be like, nigga, I don't give a damn about what you said. The answer is no. Those are the women. I try to tell women this all the time. Men will never tell you that those are the women that they respect, but it is. This man is simply looking for the women that he feels he can have control over so he can disrespect them, so he can get some of that power back that he never got growing up. You want to, if you come in contact with a man like this, you want him to leave you alone. Like, damn, she ain't far from my shit. Though you want it's better to go down in history with a man as being the girl who wouldn't go and who stood on business, as opposed to being the one that just succumbed to whatever he said. And what's so funny is a guy like this, once he sees that what he's doing is going to lead to him going broke and getting burned, once he really sees that, he'll marry and stay with the woman that he's able to come in contact with, who listens to all this bullshit he says, laughs in his face, and tells him, you good luck with that. Be blessed. Gotta go. That's the woman he'll respect. Okay. Women hold the keys to morality. Men don't have a direct connection to God. That's why men always say, we do whatever you allow. They look to you to be the standard of integrity and morality, not themselves. All right. And that's because you have a womb. So literally in your body is the middle ground between man and his semen and God in the universe to literally create human life in your womb. So when a man is able to manipulate you as a woman to get you to convince you to bust it open on the first date, he's disgusted by you. I'd be willing to bet even this man's ex-wife, he's disgusted by it, because she's the ex-wife and she's still sleeping with him. Men like this literally will push you to do things to confirm their own bias, and nothing good comes from it. And that's why real women understand that. And there's nothing that you can say to trick them or guilt them or shame them into doing what you want. And those are the women that men respect. So many women give into abusive tactics like this to try to keep the man around in some way. And it's so ironic because that's the quickest way for the man to disappear and be, when I tell you they be disgusted by you, I mean, they be so appalled by you, and they'll be sleeping with you and still be appalled. Okay, they want you to not fall for their shit. And when you're the woman who doesn't fall for it, they won't admit it, but they will have that level of respect for you. And deep down, that's what they want. Men nowadays just want to see women be worth more of a damn. I'm gonna be honest with you. I'd be disgusted half of the time by how a lot of women move nowadays. So I can only imagine a man where you look at the state of the world, the state of morality based upon what the women are doing. So when a man can just be cute with some gel in his hair and a twist out that's slightly thinning at 24, and he can come to you and say, I'm the man, sleep with me today, and you do it, he is throwing up in his head. Like, look at this bitch. Look at y'all. Y'all are so gross. Okay. So ladies got to understand that you're not giving. If anything in you as a woman feels like, if I don't give in to what he says, he's going to leave me, that ain't the right guy. Healthy men don't move that way. So it's so frustrating to me when I see a woman be like, oh, I got to give in because if I don't, he's going to get mad. Or I got to give in because if I don't, he's going to say, well, ma'am, sweetheart, I'm going to hold your hand when I say this, but that means he was going to do that regardless, baby girl. Okay. He was going to do that anyway, baby.
On a second date, whatever it may be, you feel as though a woman should at that moment, if he desires. Now, second date, she's not his girlfriend. She probably doesn't know what they're doing on the second date. She should be willing to have sex with him.
So this is where the overlap comes in, like the conflating what I'm saying, because what I'm saying is different than what you probably ever heard.
No,
so let me say this. No, I got you. I'm about to answer you. She does not have to do anything she doesn't want to do. What I'm telling the guy is she did not want to do what you wanted to do. Walk away. That's all I'm saying. She can do whatever she wants. I don't care about it if the woman don't want to do it.
So you're saying on a second date, if a guy wants to have sex and the woman says no, you know, you agree with her right to say no. So you are telling the guy as a dating coach to leave that woman.
Absolutely.
Well, now I understand why men are the way they are, because they got people like you they go to.
Well, they need to come over here more, because that's not why they are the way they are right now. They the way they are because they're doing what you're saying. So a woman to tell them no, listen, and they keep chasing.
I want to be clear, and I'm not a married woman, so I want to say that I'm not a married woman. That's why I'm talking about, and that's why
only kids chase. Chasing is playing games. You know, grown adults have mutual relationships that are meaningful and get to know each other. Okay, only childish people view the natural building process of a relationship and getting to know each other as some type of game. You know, chasing is for Sonic. Okay, chasing is for playing Mario on Xbox. Grown adults form actual true bonds and relationships and get to know each other. The mere fact that you even view that process as something to chase and run away from, like you're playing Temple Run, is part of the problem. And part of the sign of mental illness is the lack of desire to just build a normal relationship. Why does everything have to be an end goal in a game and you're chasing, you're pursuing, and I'm trying to get this out of you? What if I told you you can take your time and you can just build natural, healthy bonds and relationships with people by actually talking to them and getting to know them? I know it is absurd. I know it is unheard of. But what if I told you that that's how grown people operate? I know it sounds crazy, but what if I told you that? My God, today, Jesus wept.
What I've learned in this scenario, the married men I'm talking about, they just don't talk like this. I'm just being honest. The married men that I know have been married for years, successful men, all of them told me that their wives didn't give it up to them right away. And that's actually what made, that's actually what made her different, because they were so used to the women that you slept with in the 7 months, seven women in 1 month, that just gave it up. So to them, it's like, okay, this girl has a different set of standards for herself. She's just not as easy, because on the flip side, some men look at women like that. Oh, I'm not going to wipe you up. You give it up to me on the second date. That means you might give it to somebody else on the second date. Now, can you get, but here's the deal. Can you get, do have one night stands turn into marriage? Absolutely. So that can be possible too. But I'm just thinking of, I got to go by real life examples of the men that I know are married and still married and successful. They didn't have sex with their wife.
Okay, wait.
Okay, so first thing I say, like I said before, money is not a metric of being like a real man for me whatsoever.
So what's
and you want to keep in mind, this is a man who think he know more and can't wait to respond to a woman that literally could be his mother. I want y'all to understand this. The mere fact he's sitting over there, could be me. He telling Kendra, I know you probably never heard this before, sir, she could be your mom. All right. It's so crazy to me when I see people who could literally be your child trying to tell you, well, yeah, you may not know about this. Can you please just stop? All right. And so now you're sitting here, you're going to tell Kendra that she's wrong when this woman could be your mother. All right. Humble, it's just a slice of humble pie is what you need, my brother. You moving too fast. You are 24. You already ran through. You already think you know everything. You're not leaving yourself no more room to grow, which means you're gonna crash and burn early, young man. You got to slow down, baby.
Pleasure of a real man to you. I'm just curious.
I'm gonna answer that. I just want to say this real quick before I forget, because off of what you said, the second thing off of what you said, those guys that most men are weak. Like I would say 95% of men are beta males in a sense, most of them. So just because you're in a long lasting marriage, does not mean it's set up in the order that it's supposed to be according to like the divine nature of God. So a lot of those dudes that you're talking about, they're still submitting to their wives. Their women are in charge of them. And the second thing I want, and the third thing I want
to. So explain to me how their woman. So let me ask you this, because I'm just use somebody. I think we will all agree LeBron James is very successful, right?
Yeah.
He's on record saying there's no way he could be as successful without his wife Savannah. So do you consider him a weak man?
No, that don't make him weak. It's nothing wrong with appreciating your woman. I'm talking about you saying that the guys you're talking about, their wives made them.
Fast forward. This is kind of redundant.
And those dudes are confused. So those are the same guys that will say that they want submissive women.
Let's say three of his children into this world. Ladies, just higher regard for future over Russell Wilson.
In the context of that situation,
I'm trying to hear about LeBron.
This is so funny to me. This is literally funny. It's literally funny. It's hilarious having 8 kids for his family. All right, I think we had to go. I mean, it went out, but some of these questions.
We can just answer the questions because we keep going on. If you're okay with that, I'm being respectful of the platform. But if you want to,
I run this over here, bro.
Yeah, of course, 100%. Yeah,
you just sit back and enjoy the questions that come to you.
Yeah.
That's what it sounds like. So
yeah, it does. It does.
But a woman can have a better thought than you, and if you're unwilling to listen to her better thought because you have.
There's some he says at the very end here that just invalidates everything he just said, and I'm trying to find it. I meant to get the timestamp. Matter of fact, let me try to get this timestamp real quick. Hold on, y'all. Hold on. All right, here's.
But it almost seems like your opinion or your instructions have to be followed. If she has, I don't know. That's what it sounds like. So
yeah, it does. It does.
But a woman can have a better thought than you, and if you're unwilling to listen to her better thought because you have to be in control, that's not a teammate. That's a dictatorship. So we're not talking about the same things in that way of holding somebody down, because you can pick a woman that follows everything you say, and then if something happens to you, she don't know how to lead because that ain't the kind of woman you picked. You picked the woman that has to have you do everything. So what happens when she got to figure it out?
So just to answer that, like I told you, I'm very rational. So like but this is my thing. A woman has to. So most dudes are in the mindset they trying to do things to get women. Most guys think game is about getting women. I teach the opposite of that. Game is about having an effective game plan to get what you want. So I put women in position to do things to get me. Now, once you get into a spot, you've been consistent, 3 to 6 months, then at that point, you've earned the right to make suggestions and tell me stuff. And I'm not a type of guy that's like, oh, you told me to do that. Oh, I'm submitting to her now. Nah, if you've been around for 6 months following my program and you tell me something that's beneficial, I'll listen to what you're saying. I'm not a dummy. You see what I'm saying? But a girl that I just met, I don't owe her no right to listen to what she's saying. I said I want to go to this place at this time. If a girl make another suggestion on where we gonna go or what we gonna do, I'm never gonna talk to her again. That's just what it is. You got to earn the right to make suggestions in my life, because I already got my life is good as it is. I'm looking for somebody to add on and be a helpmate to what I got going. So
well, let me jump in.
Has you to follow my program.
Okay. So, when we talk about the man being the leader, okay, man being the leader also means a leader will never expect something from who follows them that they don't follow themselves. That's like the number one rule of leadership. So for you to say, I'm not letting know, he won't even let a woman suggest a restaurant to him on a first date. Okay, really let this sink in. This is why women should follow a man's lead. He won't even let a woman make a suggestion for where to go get some drinks and appetizers at. You got to be with him 6 months before you can even open your mouth. I'm trying to say this with a straight face. You got to be with him for 6 months before you can even make a suggestion to him. Okay. Yet he expects the woman that he thinks he's going to lead, yet he expects her to risk everything to give her body to him. Okay. That is the biggest contradiction. This is why, as a woman, you sit back and you never give or do more than what the man has done. This is why you don't overstep your place. And he say, listen, I don't want to take any risk here. Okay. I don't want to risk no money. I don't want to risk you giving me a bad advice or something and it negatively impacts my life. I don't want to risk anything, but I need you to risk it all. So that way I know if you really like me. That inadvertently means that men know that they need to risk something so that you know that he really wants to be with you. They admit the truth without admitting it. He's admitting that a way that you tell if a man is truly there and is going to be there and plans on staying with you, he is showing us that you know that based upon him being willing to take a risk. This is why you get married before you have a child. This is why you ain't meet his family, he don't meet yours. This is why if he don't put himself out there for a relationship and for commitment and for a plan, you don't. You don't go jumping the gun by doing more for him than what he's done for you. He has admitted without admitting that you really tell where a man stands by how much of a risk he is also willing to take. They understand that a woman simply being in the presence of a man is a risk. You are at risk for abuse, getting hands put on you, rape, and everything else. They understand that. So what he is looking for is a woman who take all the risk for him. And inevitably, that emasculates a man. So it's so funny because in his pain of trying to get control again, after having a controlling, abusive single mom that put her hands on him, it's so funny how in his endeavors to get that control again, he's inevitably emasculating himself. And every time a man tries to use a woman to cheat the system or to make him feel like more of a man, it always has the opposite effect because you are inevitably emasculating yourself by asking the woman to take the risk because you're too afraid to, or because you don't have the mental capacity for a letdown. So you want her to be let down instead. So you just cycle yourself back to your original problem, which is your manliness, which is your ability to embrace your masculinity. You tried to run from it. You tried to distract yourself with it, with women, and it all just comes right back around to you. But it gets even better. Let's keep watching.
Okay, so but what if there's a woman that's further along than you in what you do? Because you say you want a woman that you could create content with, right? So let's say she got better connections than you. She's been doing it longer, more followers. So her suggestion can lead y'all into a better situation. But you're already saying you're unwilling to take her suggestion because it's her suggestion. You literally just said this. If she's not doing what you want to do, you're not doing it. That's literally what you just said.
So you got to hear what I'm saying, Miss Kendra. I got you. I promise. So this is the thing. That is so for my life, right? Being a content creator and the stuff you're saying, that is my program. So what that woman would be doing in the scenario you gave is she's giving me a suggestion, right? That's helping my program. That's still under my leadership because I told her, right, that I'm trying to build XYZ with content.
Sorry, this is how you know that you don't even believe in what you're saying, because everything you say, you contradicted with the next sentence. You just said that she can't even suggest where to go for dinner. Then you say, well, what? But if it helped me with my program, that's not what you said. That's how you know that what you're saying is not realistic. You know, we don't even have to keep going back and forth with you. You're showing that what you're saying is not realistic in real life. Now you're backtracking like, well, no, because it's still on my program. Just utterly obsessed with, no. But I'm still in control. Okay. But it's me in control still. Sir, just stop.
Things like this. So she's giving me a suggestion that follows after what I'm on, right? But now if I met some girl and I'm telling her my diet is good and she's over here trying to tell me what to do when it comes to diet, and I'm not asking for help, or let's say I don't even care about diet, then I'm not going to listen to what she's saying. Because now that's going outside of my purpose and my program that's for me. So as long as it falls under that umbrella, then we good. But to be honest, you know, yeah.
Well, we'll wrap it up. Why would a woman, this is the last question, honey. Why would a woman be lucky to be with you?
I mean, that's just like, I feel like that question answers itself, but for the purpose of it, I'll answer it. I mean, I could talk about external things and stuff like that, like most guys do that talk about high value. I got all that. I don't care about that. What I say is this: my internal value, my mindset, the way I think, the way I move. A woman submits me and following after me, that'll be the best decision she made.
My bad, y'all. My battery died. Let's continue.
Decision she made. Even girls that I don't deal with now, they always come back talking about how I elevated them in their mindset and their lifestyle and things that they do. It's a lot more.
And see, this is part of the problem. It's always some game goofy, lame chick that validates guys like this and the way they think. I wish I could find some of you hoes that actually sit and hype this man up. Like, boy, you is so smart. You know what I'm saying? I should have listened. Like, please. It's always, every time you see a guy that talk like this and think he ate, it's always some lame chick who was sitting there with him like, hell yeah. Boy, you ain't never lie about that. Hell yeah. Oh, you is smart and you is important. It's always some bird brain bitch who sit there and be like, yeah, hell yeah. Waffle House, yellow, yeah. Ugh.
It's just the sex part. We focused on that one a lot, but with me, everything is elevation across the board. So even girls that don't stick with me, I make them better for the next dude they deal with. You know, I don't ghost girls. I tell women why things don't work out, you know what I'm saying? And they come back and I had a girl not that long ago come back. She got a boyfriend and she told me that the advice that I gave her helped her with that guy. Now, I ain't gonna say that. Well, no, it ain't her name. She still was trying to cheat, but that's just, you know, that's another thing. But my whole point is I help women, you know. So if you experience me, whether it's short term or long term, it's gonna benefit you more than reading probably 100 books.
Okay. All right. Well, the time has come.
Ooh, the narcissism is major here. Listening to this 24-year-old raised by an abusive single mom is going to do you better than 100 books, ladies. Forget all the books written by professionals and educated people and people older and people that have written books where their brains are even fully developed. Buddy brain ain't even fully developed yet. Okay. And he's like, listen to me, gonna get you further than 100 books. My God, today. And this is what, you know, makes me know he was raised by a single mom, because he operates like a 24-year-old girl. Young girls are that way. Young girls, there is some type of mental illness with young women. There is nobody. Young women are not only retarded and slow. I don't care if y'all like that word. I said it. But we also, when we're young, are equipped with this thing where you can't tell us nothing. Okay. I've never seen anything like it. It is so amazing. When you talk to most women age 28, 29 and older, every single last one will be like, man, when I was younger, I don't know what I was doing. I don't know what I was thinking. Man, I was so dumb. There is something wrong with us as women. Okay. When we age 27, 28 and younger, baby, the way we think we know everything and you can't tell us nothing need to be studied. Oh my God. So not only are we slow as women when we're young, but on top of that, we genuinely think we know. We talk about, baby, we just swear. Okay. We don't care who you are, how old you are, how much spirit. You can't tell us that we don't know what we're doing. So, and typically young boys, though they do need to learn things the hard way, they tend to seek more guidance, which is why they tend to seek, you know, more things like the military, and they have more of a respect for older people and their guidance. They do well with being given direction. But it's young women who operate like this. 24 years old talking about, I know better than any book you read. Your brain even developed it. What are you talking about? Like, what are you even saying? You know, and this is why kids need their father. Let's continue.
We had a great dialogue. So, excuse me, are you on the Kendra G Singles dating app?
No, ma'am, but I will get on there. I only got on here today because my mother watches you a lot, and she sent me the.
After all of that, after you just sat here and beat your chest to us for the past hour and went on a straight ego rant based on absolutely nothing because you're an inexperienced divorced 24-year-old. After all of that, I'm here because my mama said, wow. And you see, ladies, this is why, you know, I try to tell y'all with single motherhood, listen to me. The ones, a lot of y'all think that because your son is grown and he hasn't jumped off a bridge and he looks like he's okay, you think that you did well. But do you know who really finds out the issues that your son has, where your behavior, you just raised him to want to wreak havoc on the world? You know who sees the real him? The women he go behind closed doors with in intimate settings. Okay, that's who truly bears the pain of you breaking things within him. All right. After all of that, oh yeah, only reason I'm on here because my mama said, you can't make this up. This is actually hilarious. And it gets worse, by the way. Let's continue.
The link. I didn't. Yeah, I've
Okay,
known who you
what
were.
would your name be on the app, sir?
Probably Y&D, Young and Disciplined, or just D.
D. Okay. All right. Well, download the dating app, Kendra D Singles, on your iPhone or your Android phone. Create your profile. Listen, I disagree with you in a lot of things, but one thing I would give you, any woman that dates you, she has the full book on you. So one thing a woman can't say is she didn't know what she was getting into. So
absolutely. Which is
there
what
you
you
have
won't
it.
be able to say with 99% of dudes, because most dudes lie. So that's just the truth.
And on that note, that's all, folks. That fool, let me rewind that one more time. I need to make sure y'all hear what he just said, as though ending this with, you know, mama told me to come, as though that wasn't bad enough. Listen to that.
There you have it. What woman can't say is she didn't know what she was getting into. So
absolutely. Which is what you won't be able to say with 99% of dudes, because most dudes lie. So
my God, today. My God, today. You mean to tell me, my God, today, you mean to tell me that after sitting here for an hour telling us about how when a woman go on one date with a man, and if that's when he want to sleep with her, she better do it, and if she don't, he need to leave her alone. You mean to tell me that after all that, you're going to end by saying, yeah, because you know 90% of dudes be lying. So do you see what I'm saying, ladies? By men want to see standards in you. They want to see morality in you. They know what single motherhood means. They know what being a slower means. They understand the danger of it. They understand the pain of it. What they want is for you to be strong enough to tell them no. All right. He doesn't believe anything he just said. He knows dudes be lying. They know you are screwed. If you go on every date you go on with a man, if you sleep with him, they know you are screwed. They inevitably will push you towards screwing yourself just to see if you are smart enough and strong enough to not do it. Okay. I think we're in a season in this world where they're resenting us so much because most of us fall for this, because Kendra's correct. Oh, there is going to be a slow woman who is going to hit him up. Oh, you better believe it. Oh, you better believe it, because he got gel in his hair, a twist out, and got cherry chapstick on. Trust and believe there will be a woman who will sign up for it. And that's how men like him get worse and worse, because every woman that gives in to his rhetoric that he knows is BS, he resents you. And all he's doing is confirming his bias that y'all ain't ish and y'all deserve it. And this is what you want. And y'all ain't no good anyway. Because look at y'all here eating shit. All this was one big shit test. This is why we as women, you know, y'all be worried about the wrong things. Y'all need to be worried about the girls out here sucking dick from the back with guys like this, because you're just perpetuating your own things that put you in danger. And then we got to turn around and hear y'all say 4B, hear y'all say men are misogynist, when the truth is it is women validating this that causes these issues to be what they are. Because after all that, one of you hoes is over there sucking dick probably right now. I hope you choke. Anyway, y'all, please let me know your thoughts in the comments, because this was very painful, very cringe. I think at this point, listen, if y'all still want to be out here having children, you need to be fully prepared to homeschool your child, and you need to be fully prepared to arrange marriages for your child. You need to be getting in good with another. If you have a daughter, you need to be getting in good with another family that has an eligible young son. Let them be friends from young. Let them build their relationship. And you're going to have to, the days of just leaving your daughter out there to date and figure it out, this is what they're going to run into. If you want to have children nowadays, I'm sorry, but having children now is becoming a luxury. It's not even becoming something that you could just be like, oh, I want to have a bunch of kids and I'll figure it out. No, we have demonic talking points rampant in our community, and this is what your daughter will have to sift through. So if y'all want to be out here still having kids, you need to be prepared to be completely hands-on and help them, because to put it nicely, we're cooked as a society. We're cooked. And once again, tribalism will be the only thing that will save your children to avoid people like this. And may the odds be ever in your favor. But as far as this current scene between men and women, the goddess. Y'all, let me know your thoughts in the comments. Like the video, subscribe to my channel. Me and Duda Butt say thank you for watching, and I will see you on the next one.